All right, so let's really talk about it. Why are drummers paid the least? Well, I just really want to know. And we're not including horns, and we're not talking about when you got MDs involved. We know MDs get paid extra. They got the most work. They doing a whole bunch of stuff don't nobody want to do.
Hmm.
Horns, I don't know. They just always get the short end of the stick. We're not talking about them. Because in all actuality, if you have a strong organist and a drummer, you can get through any service anytime because that's what most like smaller churches or a lot of churches run with. They just got an organist and a drummer, and that jump will be fine. Even bands in general, like if you got a strong key player and a drummer, you can get through a show, and it'll sound good. But I think that the core three of the rhythm section, bass, drums, and keys, should all be on the same tier, unless one is the MD. But am I tripping? Y'all let me know in the comments. I want to know.
So interesting conversation, to kind of think about it because, you got keys players that, what he's saying is, you got like a scenario where it's a gig, whether it's church or whether it's an outside gig, people are getting paid. And he's like, well, why are the drummers getting the short end of the stick when they probably expend the most calories of any of the people that are playing on stage? The drummers are probably the ones that are doing the most physical work, you know what I'm saying, in terms of that, while, other players are doing more of the mental, kind of lifting on, playing the song. I, being a keys player and not being partial to the fact that I'm a keys player, I understand why this isn't equal, even if it's not the MD. Like if it's just a situation where you brought in keys, bass, and drums, yeah, the keys player is probably going to be making more because whether you realize it or not, there's a lot of work that goes into being a keys player because you carry the entire scenario, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. As a drummer, there's not too many sets you can pull up as a drummer, and just play drums unless it's like a clinic or something like that. Like if we're in a church service, if we're at a live gig at a top 40 or a corporate gig or a wedding or any of those outsized type situations, um, you can't carry as a drummer, you can't carry that whole situation. I've seen like guitar players be able to carry a situation by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Bass players, depending on the gig, you know what I'm saying? But keys players, a keys player could hold down a whole situation, even if he's not an MD. He can hold down a whole situation by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to like a spoken word night or something like that. Even if there's no drummer there, if there's no bass player there, if there's no full band, if it's just a keys player there, y'all can lock in. Same goes with church. If it's just if the drummer can't, I've been in many situations. I know some of you as well. If you're in church and the drummer can't show up that night or to that service or that Sunday or whatever, you can hold down the whole service by yourself. I've done it like dozens of times in the course of my life as a keys player. I mean, we throw on a click track and we just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Throw on some stems and just go for it. So I mean, I understand his plight because I'm assuming he's a drummer. Um, and I understand the plight of other drummers, but I think the keys players, they just do the most work of all of these guys or what have you.
I got friends that said it was different money for different instruments.
Different money for different instruments. What do you mean by that? Like this? Do you think there's a hierarchy, like as far as pay?
I can play with the bass player that been playing for 30 plus years, but I get more than him for that gig or that Sunday morning service just because of the instrument and my role and his role.
Have you ever seen an instance where the drummer was making more than the keys and the organist? I've never seen it personally, but I mean, does that exist in church? Have you ever seen a situation like that?
Nah, because keys and organ is like the main thing.
Yep.
Now, I saw bass players that make more than keys and organ just because of if they was there longer or, that role. Like I said, MD, if you're the MD, minister of music.
I did speak with a drummer once, and he was like, man, I don't understand why we don't get paid the same amount as keys. So I told him, go to a church and set your drums up and play the whole church service, just drums, no keys. I want you to play soft music, talk music, everything.
Right, on drums. Yeah.
Right.
We work harder. That's really what it is. We do. I mean, not saying the drummers don't, but
Yeah.
Most of the time,
drummers sweat.
Yeah, we play more though. Like for
Got you.
time. So,
Yes.
Like we got to keep the service going. I got friends.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like keys players, you know, like he said, if like see a situation where the drummer got to be there and play soft, play talk music, altar call by himself. It's just not a situation. So that's the reason why keys players, organists, whatever, we could hold down a situation completely by ourselves. Now, with that said, I have seen many situations, and I've been a part of a situation actually recently. Last few years ago, I was at playing a church, and CJ Thompson was the drummer at that church, and he was the MD. He's CJ Thompson. He's CJ Thompson. Need I say more? So CJ was the MD. You know what I'm saying? So nobody questioned that. And he was there before I got there, so it wasn't even like that type of situation. So he was, of course, getting paid more. Not just because he was CJ, but because he was the MD. And so there's plenty of case studies of like drummers that are the MD, bass players that are the MD, so on and so forth. I think if you're a drummer and you have the plight of you want to make more, or why don't I make more, make the same amount that other instruments do, then that means you need to up your skill set. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that you have to learn how to play keys. That can be helpful, but increase your skills as an MD. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how to be an MD, like learn how to create tracks and build stems and run Ableton and run loop elements and run like all kind of little things like that. So that way you're the guy, because I think I can't remember the guy, but he's the bass player. I can't think of the name of the church. It lost me just that quick. But he's the MD because he runs the tracks. He does Ableton. He does all of those things during the week, and the rest of the band just comes in on Sunday and they perform and do their thing or what have you. But so if you're in that position and you're that drummer that has that same question, then you need to have the conversation around how you're increasing your worth to add to that conversation. That's kind of what I think about it. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments section. Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy, John Mike. If you've been rocking with my content and you want to go beyond what YouTube allows, what social media allows, that's exactly why I created my Patreon. Over there, I break down the real side of music tech, business, how this industry actually works, the creative side. I'm talking exclusive podcasts with your favorite creators. And there's 3 ways that you can join. There's a support tier that starts at just $5 a month. That's for people who just want to support my work and get early access to the content that I create. The Creator Plus tier goes deeper into the tools, the workflows, the plugins, everything that I use to create and scale out my content. And then there's the Business Plus tier. This is where we talk strategy, monetization, ownership, all of the things that I do to make money, how I scaled a 7-figure company, how you can do it too, asking questions, all of the crazy things that you want to know about how to build a sustainable, real career in music. So if you're really ready to take this to the next level and grow your creative business this year, then please join me over there at Patreon. The link is down below. I'll talk to you guys over there. Let's get it.